Oh
and
my
we can
God,
talk
get the
about
hell out of here.
We can
dude.
talk about Rodgers.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay, what is the need to bring up the Yankees?
It's just stuff to bring up because
Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. This came out of nowhere.
not. Clemson is a top team. Don't start with that. Clemson's a top team, no doubt, 100%.
Unless they're on Saturday, then they might move down. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Goat Chat. We're here for our 85th episode, and as always, we're going to start with the go of the number. We're going to start with the go of the number 85. And Mike, who's your go of the number 85?
Well, I really think that there are two people here that you could choose from, but I got to go with Antonio Gates, 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, over 100 touchdowns and almost 12,000 yards in his career. Really one of the first truly dominant receiving tight ends in NFL history. We a lot of times on Go to the Number, we talk about people who transcend the position, and Antonio Gates, along with like Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, all those kind of tight ends really turned the tight end position from a blocking, position into more of a receiving threat. And Antonio Gates was fantastic at that with all his years in San Diego and his final two in LA. One of the best red zone threats of all time as well. It has to be Antonio Gates here for me.
It's a great pick, Mike. Matt, who do you have?
Tommy, first of all, I love when you bring us in. People, we need to comment to get Tommy to bring us in some more times. We're 85 episodes in. I don't think he's even hit 10 times.
It could be 10. It might be 10. We'd have.
It could be. But I'm actually going to go with a different guy here, and I think that this guy is just more GOAT-like, and that is Jack Youngblood. If you guys don't know who that was, he was a defensive end for the Los Angeles Rams. Played there for about, let's do some quick math, 11 years, 7-time Pro Bowl, 5-time All-Pro, Hall of Fame, all 1970s team, and of course made the Hall of Fame. You want to talk about a dominant force from 1973 to 1979, where he really got the majority of his All-Pros and his Pro Bowls. For that reason, I'm going to have to go, the guy's got an amazing name too, Jack Youngblood. Like, that's got to be one of the most fun names we've had on here. Obviously, behind every baseball player that I've somehow made a joke behind.
Of course. But that's a great pick. Connor, who do you have?
I mean, Stan the Musical Man has to be one of the best names.
Oh, man.
No, I have to agree with Mike here and go Antonio Gates. He listed off the stats and everything. The one thing that I actually just researched and found out is Antonio Gates was an undrafted free agent that was signed by the Chargers. He was not drafted, and he came in his first year in 2003 and immediately made an impact. I mean, he started in 11 games with 24 catches, 289 yards, and 2 touchdowns as an undrafted free agent. And obviously, we all know the career that he went on to have. As Mike said, he is one of the first tight ends that really changed the game. Obviously, we now have names today like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, potentially Kyle Pitts, who was just drafted by Atlanta, could turn into another great tight end. But Antonio Gates was definitely one of the first to start the tight end movement, becoming a receiver rather than just a blocker, an extra guy on the line. So Antonio Gates is my go to the number here.
Yeah, that's a great pick. And I'll go with Antonio Gates as well. 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, like you said, and 11,000 yards in his career, almost 12,000, 116 touchdowns. So put together a really great career. I do have an honorable mention. Of course, I always got to go with a baseball player. And those who know me, not my favorite Yankee of all time, but he's improved. It's going to be Luis Sessa, number 85.
Who is that?
He's a reliever for the Yankees. Pitching well this year, 1.35 ERA in 10 games, 4.25 career ERA. And, here's the thing about Luis. When he comes into the ball game, the majority of the time, it's over either way. Either the Yankees are going to lose or they're going to win. And, but hey, there's a place on the team for him. There's a place on the team because he eats up innings when we need him to, and he's improved. So I'm going to go Luis Sessa as my honorable mention.
Listen, Tommy, I don't know who Luis Caesar Salad really is, but but that's I guess that's a good honorable mention if you really want. Honorable mention Ocho Cinco, literally, because Ocho
Yeah.
Cinco, 85. But no,
Oh, I never even
Chad,
got.
Chad,
Tommy never even got.
Oh my god.
I literally almost went with him, but then I wasn't sure.
Ocho is 8 in Spanish, and Cinco is 5
I
in
took
Spanish.
French. I took French. I don't know.
you don't know how to count in 10 to
No,
Spanish?
like I do, but I never put it together where I was like, Ocho Cinco.
Tommy, talk some French to us.
Oh, est-ce que je peux boire de l'eau? That means can I get a drink of water?
There you go.
Yeah, I was
he's great.
researching.
Six-time Pro
I
Bowl
was-
Chad Ocho Cinco.
I was researching for going to number 85, and I saw he might be like start fighting, like boxing.
Yeah, he
I
is.
saw that
Undercard.
someone wants. Yeah, that's
Chad
insane.
Johnson?
I didn't see that.
You know he went to Ithaca College for like half a semester.
So
He
did
was
Gavin
wearing the
DeGraw.
Ithaca College merch that one in his
Yeah. And I asked one of my friends, and he was like, "Yeah, he went to IC for half a semester." I'm like, "Why would he? Why would he come here for half a semester?" I have no idea. It was so random, but it's just one of those cool things. He's definitely a very polarizing character, but he was very polarizing in the field as well.
What'd you say, Tommy?
I said we should get him on the show. How cool would that be?
That
That'd
would
be
be
incredible.
cool.
In our dreams.
No, that would be
All
pretty
right,
cool.
well, I think this has been a pretty good go to the number segment. Stick around. We have a great show planned, something that Tommy and I are quite excited to talk about. It's been a great week of sports, and big rivalry that happened this week, a brewing rivalry, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Welcome back to Go Chat, and as I mentioned in our close of the go to the number segment, there has been a great rivalry brewing in the MLB since 2017. Houston Astros and New York Yankees, they met in the ALCS in 2017. Great series. Obviously, Jose Altuve won the MVP that year. Aaron Judge finished second with over 50 home runs in his rookie season. And obviously, news has come out since then. Houston Astros were cheating, banging some trash cans, picking up some signs, a whole big thing. And obviously, they went on to win World Series that year. That World Series shouldn't be given to them. It should have been taken away by the MLB, but we all know how incapable Rob Manfred is as the commissioner of the Major League Baseball. Sorry, was that unacceptable? I don't really care. So obviously the Yankees and the Astros met in New York this past week for a 3-game series, and Yankees fans let them hear it. They let them hear it. Tommy, I'm going to swing it to you first. What did you think?
I thought it was a great series all around. I mean, for the Yankees to take 2 out of 3, I think was huge. And to, have that end up being a 5-game win streak, going back to their last series against Detroit, I thought was huge for the team. And the fan base came out in full force. I mean, it was only, I think, 10,850 fans, and it sounded like 40,000. It was unbelievable. And Jose Altuve, he got the brunt of it the whole series. I mean, it was his birthday Wednesday, and he was getting, it was pretty rough. But, I mean, we all know they cheated, and they cost the Yankees a chance at at a championship. And, who says that they would win in the World Series, but, they at least got cheated out of a chance of it. And, the fan base, they come out in full force. So it was something else. What did I do?
Yeah, no, Matt said they choked.
We didn't choke.
Yeah.
No, obviously they didn't. I think the funniest thing from the weekend was Carlos Correa, and he comes out and says the MLB has to do better. I mean, they're personally attacking me, and it's making me cry after games, and they're attacking one of the nicest people in the entire game of Jose Altuve, and this just has to be something has to be done. You guys signed up for it. You guys cheated. You guys did this to yourself. What do you expect? It's the first year that there's going to be fans in the stands. And when you took a championship opportunity away from the team that you're going to see, the fans are going to be brutal. They're going to be. It doesn't matter. What do you guys think down there, Matt and Mike?
I mean, did he actually say he was going to cry?
He said that he got emotional after the game.
Oh my, come on, dude. It's just fans. Like, Tommy, what did you want to say?
Well, no, go on.
It's just fans. Like, everyone has to go through that, whether you're LeBron James or I don't know, some other hated Tom Brady. Everyone has to go through that. I don't know why he's going to go cry. And like you said, he literally signed up for it by cheating. I mean, the Astros did. Yes, the Yankees, obviously, Aaron Judge didn't get the MVP. He never will. But and obviously they lost close to that World Series, the ALCS. They'll never get there again. But they still cheated, the Astros, and they need to start to pay some fines or whatever. Obviously they didn't get anything taken away, so fans are going to be brutal. You signed up for it, take it like a man.
Yeah, yeah, man, I agree with you. I mean, Correa saying that he got a little emotional. I think that's a little exacerbated, and he really shouldn't be feeling that way. Like, if you can't dish it out, then and you can't take it, then don't dish it out. And in this sense, if you're gonna cheat and get caught, you gotta be ready to receive the backlash for it. And to be honest, if that was a full stadium, I think Correa might have needed to take like a mental health day or something like that. But yeah, the Yankees fans were definitely pissed off. They got the better of them in the series, but I wouldn't go as far to say, that they cost the Yankees a shot at the title. We don't know if the Yankees would have won the series with or without the cheating. Chapman gave a slider right down the middle. Altuve did not need a trash can to put that over the fence.
That wasn't in 2019.
What are you talking about?
That was in 2019.
Wait, Mike. The slider to Altuve was in 2019. We're talking about 2017.
Oh, okay, my mistake. But even if Chapman still blew that game, it doesn't matter.
Mike, are you kidding me? They won all 4 games in Houston. Yankees won all 3 in New York. All they needed was 1 win in Houston to go to the World Series. And because they were cheating, they won all 4 games there. That's what happened, Mike. Are you kidding me?
We don't know if the Yankees would have won any of those games. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It didn't happen. Okay?
Mike,
we have no idea.
They cheated.
So
they would have lost, but they cheated every single game, Mike.
What do you mean? So we don't know the amount of impact it had on the game. We don't know how many runs they got off of cheating. I'm not wrong. Like, we don't know how many runs the actual scored because they heard the trash cans. We have no idea. That team was extremely talented.
Of course. But Mike, they were very talented, but the Yankees would have won way more games. I mean, if a team knows what pitches are coming, Mike, it takes like everything out of the game. Are you kidding me?
That's definitely correct. But we will never know to the extent of which the Astros cheated and how much it affected the game. I'm not going to sit here and say they cost, probably, right? But it didn't happen. We don't know if the Yankees would have won, honestly.
Mike, that is the coldest take I've ever heard. All they needed was 1 more win. I guess we don't know for sure what would have happened. But when the team knows every single pitch that's coming while they're hitting, and they win all 4 games at their home ballpark and lose every single one on the road, it would lead you to believe that the Yankees could have gotten 1 more win.
Wait, so in that whole playoffs, did the Astros win every single home game?
No, they did lose in the World Series in 1 game, I think, and
So how does that make sense? Because you're telling me that they won every game at home, obviously, against the Yankees. So obviously they're cheating when they're home, theoretically, what you're saying. Right?
Yeah, because they have all this stuff at home to cheat. They can't cheat.
Every single home game from June on.
So how did they lose one home game in the World Series then?
Well, you can still lose. I mean, you can still get beat, Matt. You can still get beat.
Yeah, but you said it's just so much easier when you know the pitch is coming. That's the only thing I'm really confused
Matt,
right
they
now
lost
about.
1 game out of like 15 postseason.
Okay, I want to share a personal
I'm not
story
taking
here.
any sides.
So
I'm just trying to do,
Oh my God.
be an intriguing, MLB vibe.
I played baseball in high school. I was a part of the varsity team, and we went to a game, and we were losing. We were losing 4-0, and in the 5th inning. And there's 7-inning games in high school. Our pitching coach picked up their pitching signs. So then for the last 3 innings, we gave signals based off of their pitching signs, and we wound up winning that. We wound up winning that game 5-4.
So
that just goes to show that when you know the pitches are coming, you are immediately at an advantage.
Connor just admitted to
No,
cheating.
but that's-
Connor, you're being a total hypocrite right now.
It's
But
not,
that's not
it's
cheating,
games
because
with-
that's not banging garbage cans or anything. It's us picking up their pitching signs. That's part of the strategy of baseball. If you pick up the signs that they're giving,
Did you guys like forget what happened in this whole situation? It's cheating when electronics get involved. Stuff like that is. Hey, I can't even believe that you're saying that you don't know. Can we go back to the episode when we talked about this when this happened? Or wait, were we even doing the show at that
No,
point?
it came out 29. It came out the
Tommy's thinking back to episode -45.
Yeah, I don't. No, that's right. It happened in January. But no, are you kidding me? Jim Crane, the owner, he got destroyed in the media for saying that they didn't know if it would impact the games. Of course, it impacted the game.
I'm not saying it didn't impact the game. We just don't know to the amount that it did, or to the extent. That's that's what I'm trying to get at.
We're not saying that like what they did was right or anything. We're
No,
not.
it was
saying that they didn't
100%
cheat,
wrong,
like-
and they should have been punished to the fullest extent, which is not what happened, right? But I'm just saying, let's not sit here and assume that the Astros robbed the Yankees of a World Series
That's
when that
true.
just
That's a
didn't
fair
happen.
point.
They would have
we
had
didn't
to.
say that.
I said
Okay.
that because
We said that they
flat out-
robbed
Tommy-
them of a chance.
Oh yeah.
Of a chance of a World Series.
Okay, fair, whatever. The wordplay has just gotten way out of hand
I
right now.
cannot believe.
Really,
I
it's
cannot believe you guys sat here. You guys sat here, made that point, and then tried to validate it.
We're not trying to validate it. All
We're
we're
just
trying
saying
to
we
say
don't know
is
what
that
would have
you guys said
happened
the Yankees
if they
would've won
didn't
the World
cheat.
Series, because that's what we thought you guys said. That's what we thought Tommy said, at least.
Wait, but what I'm saying is, don't you get what I'm saying though? Because
I get what you're saying. Yes.
they won all 4 games at home. And
Yes.
they lost all 3 on the road.
Yes.
And they only cheated at home. Wouldn't it lead you to believe that the Yankees probably would have gotten one more win if they weren't cheating in those games? Mike, you're right. We don't know what would have happened. But I think that a lot of people, but see, the thing about this too is that it happened in the regular season too, right? So who knows, like in terms of seeding and stuff like that, would they have won the division? Would they be playing the Yankees? Would the Yankees have home field advantage
What was their home record that season? Do you know?
during the postseason?
No, during while they were
I
cheating.
don't know it off the top of my head, but it was
Yeah, I
very
know.
good because I know the numbers.
And-
But I can tell you the
And
Yankees
Mike,
lost the game at home in the 2017 postseason, and
Mike, you say that the team is incredibly talented, which it is. It was a very talented team there. But then we entered that 60-game season last year, and Houston finished below 500 in the 60-game season. Yes, they made it to the ALCS. They did do that.
They lost
But they were
Garrett Cole.
below 500 in the regular season.
That's
Sure,
ridiculous.
they lost Garrett Cole, but he's out there
Yeah,
pitching one
yeah.
every 5
I
days.
just realized when I said that. Okay, I just realized when I said that he's not cheating. But yeah,
but,
Yeah, 100%. They finished below 500 last season in a small sample size in a 60-game season, right? And their players are getting older now, and they're not the team that they once were in 2017, where they were fully loaded. But they still made it to Game 7 of the ALCS, right? That's still a major accomplishment. They came down from 3-0 against the Tampa Bay Rays, and to sit here and act like just because they finished below 500.
Do you hear yourself?
What do you mean?
They
You
made
just
it to
sat
game-
here. Yeah, they made it to the
They made it to
ALCS,
game-
but they finished below 500 in the regular
They-
season.
they
The
made it to the
postseason
game 7 of-
all of a sudden does not matter.
You're saying they made it to the Game 7 of the ALCS, very similar to what the Yankees did in 2017, and they got cheated out of it.
But Mike, and see, I think that the thing about this whole situation that like bothers people is that the Astros were one of the best teams in the league by far. I think that everybody can agree on that. Their pitching was incredible, and obviously their lineup was off the charts. And you know, that was all inflated because they cheated, but they were good. They were one of the best teams in baseball talent wise, and that's what bothers people. Nobody's taking anything away from the talent that was on that team 100%. I mean, they're a great team, and they'll be remembered as a great team, but they're going to be remembered as cheaters because that's what they are. And you know, I don't know. I'm sorry
I
for
can't
getting
believe
fired
this.
up.
I cannot believe this was a conversation we just had.
That was absurd. I thought it was going to be a nice, yeah, the Astros are cheaters. We all know it. But Mike's like,
We're
oh,
not saying they're not cheaters.
Yeah,
They
we're not
committed one of the most
saying-
foul acts in baseball history. But what I'm saying is we still don't know the outcome of the series if they didn't cheat. That's all I said.
Do we want to know what is really, really just annoying about this whole thing? Is back in the way early 1900s when the White Sox they threw a baseball game. All of them were banned for life from the MLB. Some of them being incredibly talented players, such as Shoeless Joe Jackson, and he will never make it into the Hall of Fame. And just to think, Rob Manfred pretty much gave the Houston Astros a little slap on the wrist. If any of them make it into Cooperstown down the line, if any of them make their way into the Hall of Fame, I don't think I could watch baseball ever again.
Well,
I think,
hold on. Do you think that both the players on the White Sox and the Astros players should not be in the Hall of Fame? Or do you think both should be allowed in the Hall of Fame?
None of them should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
But when we're banning players from the MLB for life in the prime of their
Totally
career,
different
like how
times.
totally different times, it's still the sport of baseball, Matt.
Okay, but it's what is that 1910 compared to 2010 or 2011, 2017? Like,
It doesn't
God,
matter.
that does matter. Come on, it does kind of matter.
When you're
The times
committing
are
something,
changing.
when you're
Times
committing
are changing.
something like that, when you're cheating to win a sporting event, you should be banned. If we're banning people for throwing a game to get money, or when Pete Rose can't make it into the Hall of Fame because he bet, we can't. Come on.
I think that's a tremendous point, Connor, because Pete Rose, after this all happened and the players weren't penalized, he reapplied to be, reinstated, which he's done, not quite every year, but he's very relentless in trying to get back into baseball. And, I agree with him. I mean, if these guys get, pretty much no penalty, and, we've talked about this before, I think, but the situation with Pete Rose, he never bet against his team. He never threw games. I mean, if anything, it gave him more of an incentive to win those games, right? Because he was betting he would win. And you have people with no integrity. It flabbergasts me.
I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying the repercussion is fine, like the slap on others. They should 100% get that World Series out of there. I just don't know if they should be banned from the whole sport. Technically, I don't know. That's something to really think about. Banning someone from a sport is huge, so that's something really to think about. I'm not gonna make it a state. Not gonna make a stand with just thinking about this for the past 2 minutes. I'm not gonna make a stand. I'm just saying that maybe those White Sox players should not even got banned from baseball. I don't really know, but just banning someone from a sport is pretty serious. They have to do something really bad. And if that cheating was really bad and you think that it belongs in that statement, then go ahead. You could think that they should get banned from the MLB. I just don't know if they should get banned from the sport overall.
Two very good baseball movies here. 8 Men Out, which is about the Chicago White Sox scandal. And then, Field of Dreams, which has Shoeless Joe Jackson in it. 2 all-time classics right there if you guys want some great baseball movies to watch.
Those are great. No, those are 2 of my favorites. But no, I don't necessarily think they should be banned for life, but I don't think they should be in the Hall of Fame because if you're not going to put steroid users in, personally, I think this is worse than steroids because at least, when you're taking steroids, it's still the same game, right? Like you don't know what's coming, and there's still that competitive aspect. And then obviously, it can cause you to drive the ball, and you have much more strength. And we all know what PEDs do. But with this, I mean, every single pitch that's coming. Trevor Bauer said that he would much rather be facing a guy with PEDs than a guy on Houston that knows which pitch is coming. But it's really interesting, the whole, and I don't want to get into this too much, but when you take a look at a guy like Carlos Beltran, right? Borderline Hall of Famer. And, to our knowledge, he only cheated in the final season of his career. But he was the only player that was named in the report because he helped come up with this scandal, with this scheme. And, he was fired from the Mets for it. So, like, I don't know. I mean, do you put him in the Hall of Fame because he played his entire career clean, supposedly, and then now, he cheated in his final year? I don't know. It's something that we'll have to see down the line, but definitely interesting.
Tommy and Connor, you guys are right on pretty much all of those points. And we could talk about the MLB and like their decisions to ban all these players like Pete Rose and the 1910 whatever White Sox, right? Like that's a totally different story with the major league penalizing all these players. Personally, I'm not sure if they should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. That would need me more time to think, but 100% players like Barry Bonds should be allowed in there. I understand they took steroids, but they were just so much better than all the rest. And Pete Rose, he should have never been banned in the first place if he's just betting on his own team. I see nothing wrong with it.
Isn't that like insider trading? Like if you're in business, though, that's pretty much the same thing.
But
No,
That could get you in jail.
But he did bet on his team for every single game, I believe. He said there were never games where he didn't bet on them. So it wasn't like, if he knew something was going on, he would still bet on them because he didn't want people to know there was something else. But
another way to get Tommy fired up is Mike, you know what today is, right?
Oh, that's right. I think it's the 5th anniversary of Bartolo Colon hitting that home run in San Diego Stadium against the Padres. One of the most iconic moments in MLB history. And if you say otherwise, you're an absolute fool and a novice in terms of baseball history. Okay?
Oh my
Tommy,
God.
Connor, if you guys want to sit here and not act like that was one of the most it was not one of the most exciting moments and exhilarating moments of your whole life.
okay,
Then you're a fool.
Baseball professional right here. Okay. I will give my first. Carlton Fisk's home run in Game 6 of 1978. That was much, much better. And even the play-by-play by Dick Stockton, who's a friend of my uncle's, that was fantastic. I would say that's better. And I'm not even like a baseball.
Aaron Boone in the ALCS against Boston with the home run off the foul pole, or not off the foul pole, but into the left field bleachers. I mean, come on.
Mike.
One of the most iconic moments in MLB history.
Yeah.
Mike.
A pitcher the other day hit a grand slam. Is that an iconic moment?
No, not to this magnitude, because it's one of the most improbable moments ever. Bartolo Colon played his whole career in the AL, comes to the Mets for 1 year. He had like maybe 1 or 2 hits in his first year with the Mets. And all of a sudden he hits a home run. You add on to the fact that he was a fan favorite by not only the New York Mets and by the whole MLB. For you two, as avid baseball fans, to sit here and that you don't thoroughly enjoy that moment, and it's not one in like your top 20 favorite moments in MLB history, is delusional.
Mike.
There's so many better
such
moments.
a lack of appreciation for Bartolo Colon. 100%.
Like we've seen 3 no-hitters thrown already this year. Those have got to immediately be up there. I mean, watching Felix Hernandez throw his perfect game back in 2010, that's up there. I mean, when Didi Gregorius hit a grand slam back in July a couple years ago when I was at the game, that's up there. I mean, Mark Teixeira in playoff Mark Teixeira, all of his clutch moments, that's up there. Matt Holliday, when he was on the Yankees, hitting a home run in the bottom of the 10th to win a game after they were down massively.
Bringing up all Yankees
That's up
moments right
there.
now.
Bringing up all Yankees.
Is the top 10 MLB iconic moments just all Yankees home runs in the playoffs? Is that what we're doing?
Can I please speak on this? Because this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of my whole life. for you to say that is a top 20 moment, and it is not a top 20 moment in this decade. Are you kidding me, Mike? That is, in terms of maybe regular season moment, Mike, he is a pitcher that everybody loves. Awesome moment. Loved it, right? It was great. But to say it's a top 20 moment in baseball history, you could probably just go from like the last 5 postseasons and take 20 moments that are much better than that.
Oh my
Postseason
God.
home runs.
Don't kid yourself,
Are
Tommy.
you kidding? Mike, what did this home run mean? It meant
It
something.
means the world. What do you mean?
Mike,
I mean, we could talk about the home run chase of 1961 with Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris. We could talk about Mark McGwire breaking that record. We could talk about Barry Bonds breaking the home run record. We could talk about Barry Bonds breaking the all-time home run record. We could talk about Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit being a home run. Alex Rodriguez's 3,000th hit being a home run. I mean, Roberto Clemente's 3,000th hit, his final hit of his career. Mike, there's so many great moments in MLB. We cannot say a Bartolo Colon home run in Petco Park in San Diego is a top 20 moment.
Cubs win the World Series, Game 7.
Cubs win the World
Cubs
Series
win that.
after 108 years.
President Bush throwing the first pitch, Game
At
3 of the
Mets Yankees.
2001 World
I'll even
Series.
throw out, yeah, that's a great moment. I'll even
Mike
throw-
Piazza hitting the home run in their first game back after 9/11. Mike, I mean,
Okay.
we're naming off so
Maybe-
many
Bro,
examples here.
Top 50. Okay, top 50.
Maybe top 50.
Top,
I
no,
won't
top 50,
even agree with
100%.
that.
Okay, hold on.
Mike, it's not even a top 1,000 moment all time.
Okay, Tommy, shut the hell up, man.
Mike, oh, but
What do you mean top 1,000 moment? Come
Mike,
on.
it's not. I can tell you, it's not even a
It's
top.
not just like some normal pitcher hitting a home run. It's a pitcher who pretty much had the skills of a little league hitter stepping into a major league baseball batter's box and knocking it out of the god park. Bartolo Colon is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and he deserves to be one of the top 50 most iconic moments in the MLB.
Mike, it isn't even a top 20 in Mets history. I mean,
You're out of your mind.
how about this? We haven't used the Goat Chat Twitter in a while. Let's tweet at Steve Cohen and say, Steve, do you think this is a top 20 moment in Mets history? And he'd probably say yes.
If he's not, get him the heck out of here. I want a new owner. Bring in A-Rod. He could own 2 teams. No big deal.
Hey,
Yeah, maybe A-Rod would have made a better decision on Francisco
No.
Lindor, who was pretty lackluster to start the year.
Okay, buddy. We're 25 games into the season, okay? Listen, he's not playing well right now, but we have time. We have time. Don't worry about it.
I think this has gone on much longer than it had to be because Mike is just so delusional.
these are some of
But,
the
you know-
coolest takes I've ever heard in my life. Like, I don't even know. There'd probably be much more if I knew other sports. Like, there's probably some football takes that I'd be like, hey, those are a little out there.
I mean, I don't want to hear when you pick Luis Cessa for the GOAT of the number 85. Seriously.
It was an
He
honorable
played
mention.
like 40
He did
games
it.
in his career.
It was honorable mention. He
Why
picked
don't-
Gates.
He's
he
played a
doesn't
lot more than
deserve
40
to be like-
games.
He
He
doesn't
picked Gates.
even deserve to be mentioned. Anyways, good segment, fun segment.
Like you picked Paul Pierce for 34.
Yeah.
He's going to be
What
all
do you mean?
famer, though.
Paul Pierce does not compare to Luis Cessa. Are you kidding me?
Like 34 is an all-time basketball number. And you picked Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Come at Tommy for picking Luis Cessa when you could have went Shaquille O'Neal and you picked Paul Pierce.
Who did we go with?
I will defend Mike here. Paul Pierce is a future Hall of Famer, and Luis
Luis Cessa is not.
Paul Pierce was fired from ESPN for doing some naughty things.
Every NBA player does naughty things like that. He was just not smart and posted it all over Instagram. Okay?
Who did we go 34? I'm drawing a blank.
I probably went Shaq.
I don't think we went Shaq.
Who did I go with? Brian McCann?
What number is Hank
I
Aaron?
hope you didn't go Brian McCann.
Aaron is not 34. What is it? What number is it?
Obviously, you guys can see our brains are all over the place.
Who
now,
is
you know,
94?
we're just having a lot of fun out here filming Goat Chat. I guess we'll move into the Goat Pick segment here and then finish off some Goat of the Week. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, we're having a bunch of fun. We hope you guys are having a bunch of fun watching it. We'll be back in a sec.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back with the GOAT picks. We just had an amazing conversation about some glorious baseball. We went from the Astros all the way to the most memorable moments in Major League Baseball history. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It was pretty entertaining to see Tommy get mad for once. And to clarify, if you guys were watching, go to number 35. We went with Walter Payton. Tommy went with David Ortiz. If you were wondering that, we did look during our little break, but we got some GOAT picks to pick. You look at the leaderboard. I took the lead. I mean, I'm not shocked after the 3-1 last time we picked. And obviously we got some picks going on today while we're recording. Today's Friday. We got picks Friday, Saturday. So obviously the leaderboard might be different by the time this episode comes out. But nonetheless, I'm in the lead. Connor's just behind me. Tommy's tied with Connor. And then Mike is in last. To start us out, we got a little Boston versus Miami action. Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now they're playing. We're picking the game on Tuesday. To start us off, I am going to go with the Boston Celtics.
Hard not to go with Miami here. I'm going to go with Miami.
You just said that.
Thomas.
The good. I'm going to go with the Celtics here. I'm going to agree with that.
I'm going with the Celtics, too. Tatum better show up big. This is a massive matchup for seeding purposes.
And now we move into.
What are you doing? Sticking your tongue out.
Now we move into the NHL. We got the Boston Bruins going up against the New York Islanders. I'm gonna go with the Boston Bruins. Boston.
Give me the Islanders. Give me the Islanders.
Tommy.
Tough one. Let's go Islanders. Yeah, there we go, Connor.
I'm going with the Bruins. Islanders have been slumping as of late, while the Bruins have been doing the opposite.
Well, they got to break out at some point. So
there you go.
You should be concerned. I mean, you have the same picks as the person who's in last place.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You're choking. Okay, that's what I thought. Going to MLB, we got Boston Red Sox versus the Oakland A's. This game is on Tuesday. I'm gonna go with Boston. I feel like I have to go Boston here. Connor.
I'm going Oakland. Oakland's look really, really good.
Do you want to just like go all the way down in those standings? Because you went 3 against me.
You're making the wrong picks.
Okay, Tommy.
This is tough. I'm looking. Oakland's been 4-6 over their last 10. I'm still gonna go with Oakland. Let's go A's.
Oh, I figured you wouldn't go with Boston, Mike.
No.
I'm going with the A's as well. I just think that they're the better team.
Okay. We got Milwaukee versus St. Louis, the last game. I am going to go with see, this is tough because I always used to copy Tommy, but I'm gonna go with the give me the Brewers. Woodruff is pitching. He was on my fantasy team last year.
Oh my God. Like every other episode, his fantasy baseball team is brought up.
Well, he had a great team.
You know what?
I went undefeated. I have to bring it up.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Oh my God.
I gotta go with the Cards.
Who are you going with, Tommy?
I'm gonna go with the Cards too. I just think they're the better team. I think by the end you're gonna see the Cardinals win that division, and then maybe a little reunion with Albert Pujols. I don't know. They could, but we'll see.
Mike.
I'm going with the Brewers. Well, I do think the Cardinals are the better team there. The Cardinals are in a massive slump right now. They walked like 11 batters against the Mets the other day on Thursday. So I'm going with the Brewers in this one. Woodruff is a beast.
Interesting. He was on my fantasy baseball team. Nonetheless, we got some great picks. Connor went all against me. We got to see how this goes. But, of course, don't go away. We have the Go of the Week coming up next. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back with the Go of the Week. Last week, look at the leaderboard. Who got a +1? It was Mike Buetti. Mike, you had Jason Tatum, correct?
Yes, I did. Very well deserved.
Jason Tatum got the win. I think he was 1 over. I think he had 7 votes. I think Aaron Judge had 6. So, Aaron Judge likes coming in second place, so that's good for him. But we got another great week. I hear there's a Yankee on the board. Mike, why don't you start us off?
Well, I'm going with a better outfielder in the New York Yankees, and that's Giancarlo Stanton. He's raking this week, batting .563, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 2 walks, an OPS of 1861. That's absolutely unheard of. He's hitting the crap out of balls left and right. I mean, they are just flying out of the stadium. And Connor and Tommy can back me up on this, that in the past week, he's been by far the biggest reason why the Yankees have won all these games this weekend against the Astros and the Tigers. So Stan is the GOAT of the week, 1,000%, or 1861 for his OPS. Fantastic.
I'll stand behind you on that. What I won't stand behind you on is that he's the best outfielder in New York. I mean, that's Aaron Judge.
I mean, yeah. Brandon Nimmo, Michael Clinford, all those guys. Anyways, Connor, who's your GOAT of the week?
He hasn't played the outfield. Stan hasn't played the outfield in like 3 years. But
Oh my gosh, Tommy, I'm joking. Connor, who's your GOAT of the week?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook. He had a huge accolade this week. Oh my God, Mike, you're shocked. Wow. Yeah, locked up another triple-double season, and he is now just 1 triple-double away from big Oscar Robinson's triple-double record. What does that stand at? I think Russell Westbrook has 180. So he's 1 off of Oscar Robinson, 181. Great feat for Russell Westbrook. Obviously, whole basketball world is hoping and watching that he can complete it here this year. Obviously, everyone knows Russell Westbrook's a triple-double machine. So yeah, Russell Westbrook here for the GOAT of the week.
That's a great pick. I wonder how you thought of that. Tommy, so Schefter tweeted out, sources say Tommy offered Mike $25 for the GOAT of the week. Is that true?
Rumors are false.
I may have. Did I? I know I've done that before, but
yeah, Adam Schefter tweeted it out. He said sources say. We just want to confirm or deny it.
Well, it's got to be right. I'd confirm it if Schefter said it.
Who's your GOAT of the week?
Tell you after the thing, even though I didn't get the GOAT. But no, I'm gonna go with a guy that has not performed well. I'm gonna go with Albert Pujols, who was released by the Los Angeles Angels at Anaheim earlier this week. And I'm going with him because he is simply one of the best players of our generation, hands down. And his career may be coming to an end. There's a chance that he keeps going. I know that, some people have thrown the White Sox out there. His former manager, Tony La Russa, is still going. So, we'll see. But in his career, 3,200 hits, 298 lifetime hitter.
Tommy.
Sorry, this isn't a go to the numbers segment.
No, but he's retired. I mean, what am I going to say?
He's not retired. He was designated for assignment. He was designated for assignment, which means he's been terrible this year.
Well, yes.
For the past 2 years.
He's hitting under 200, and he has 5 home runs. Does anyone want to guess how many extra base hits the guy has this year?
0.
5.
Oh, only home runs.
5 home runs. Yeah.
Did you see him try to leg out a double the other day? He started step between first and second. I mean, listen, I love Albert Pujols, back in his prime, one of the best home run hitters of our generation, like you said, Tommy. But he made his money in LA. His time is now done in LA, and maybe he could sign in Chicago or go back to St. Louis. But I've never heard of someone giving a player GOAT of the week because they got cut for playing.
No, but it's because
he didn't retire yet. You know what I mean?
It might be though. There's a chance. So we want to acknowledge Albert because he's had a tremendous career. And no, I know. It's not the best pick in the world, but we're going with Albert.
All right, Matt. Who's your GOAT of the week?
It's a great pick when Tommy says, yeah, this guy doesn't really perform that well, but
sounds like all of his go the numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, I just want to honor people. I'm not too worried about the wins and losses.
All right. Well, you're not going to catch me, so I don't blame you.
Good sport time.
My GOAT of the week is John Means, threw a no-hitter in one of the greatest games in the team history, at least. I'm not gonna go out here and say it's one of the most memorable, like Mike, but it was a really. What'd you say, Tommy?
I said I would say that. You can go ahead and say.
Okay, cool. Threw the no-hitter against the Mariners on Wednesday. Just really, really good for him. I'm really happy for him. Seems like a cool guy. So, John Means.
You know, another really good story, and this doesn't have to be my go to the week, but that is Drew
Oh.
Robinson of the San Francisco Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Lost his eye last year after a suicide attempt, and came back to the sport of baseball, and now made the AAA roster for the San Francisco Giants. So that's just it's a really good story. Jeff Passan reported on it a couple months ago, and then it came back real, and now it's actually happening here. So definitely just a really good story. I've followed the story ever since Jeff Passan reported a couple months ago, and it's just really good to see him get back on a major league roster and compete.
There's a better go of the week for you, Tommy.
I know. Well, no, that is a great pick, though, Connor. Certainly great to see him back on the field.
Oh yeah, Connor, that also brought, that's obviously a great story there, and one that definitely should be highlighted. But another candidate that I didn't pick for Go of the Week was TJ Oshie. He lost his father this past week, and his father was super close to him. He's well known in the hockey community. And the game after losing his father, he goes out and scores a hat trick against the Rangers. So big shout out to TJ Oshie. Not necessarily the rest of the Capitals team if you've been following that Capitals Rangers drama with Tom Wilson, but big shout out to TJ Oshie. Lot of props for him.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm just gonna quickly. It's just those goosebump moments that you get, when that happens. Brett Favre, I'm pretty sure it was against the Raiders after his dad died. Lit
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, it's just
Isaiah Thomas after his sister.
those
I mean,
moments are just goosebumps.
Yeah, obviously those are the tragic moments in sports that they face, but obviously being sports fans, it's giving me goosebumps now thinking about it. It's great. It's just great to think about, great to watch. That's going to wrap up a great episode of Goat Chat, episode number 85. We have something special planned. Matt's been working really hard on it. That's going to come out on Tuesday. Guys, it's been a year. We've been together for 1 year. Some of the best memories and moments that we've had over the past year. Thank you guys. It's been great.
It took 1 year to get Tommy really mad.
Almost a year of the day, but no, good episode today. And I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a special video out on Tuesday for our celebrating our 1 year. But nonetheless, great episode today. We're going to have another one next week, and we will see you guys next Sunday.